Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, all kinds of astrology and foreign travel. As you can see from the thumbnail and you can see here that today I am going to discuss a very beautiful horoscope, and it's the horoscope of a genius we all know. Professor, doctor, Mr. anything you can say, anything you can add as a prefix of that particular person. The name is Albert Einstein. Yes, friends, it's Albert Einstein's horoscope and he is nothing but a pure genius, right? So I've gone through many horoscopes, and generally, what happens, we talk about Raj Yogas all the time, this yoga, this Viprit Raj Yoga. But if we see a horoscope of a successful person like Dr. Albert Einstein, we can learn many things and we can see what actually Raj Yoga looks like, right? So before starting this video, I'd like to request all my viewers, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It's a very new channel and it motivates us. So without wasting any more time, let's start with the video. So you can see the horoscope of Albert Einstein. So you all, I do not need to say to you that what actually he deserved and what he has done in the field of physics, relativity. We all know E is equal to mc square, right? So let's do this in his horoscope and let's see why Mr. Albert Einstein became the Albert Einstein and he became the guru or the teacher for all of us. This is Albert Einstein's horoscope, friends, and see it's a and if I'm going to do this analysis on basis of Nadi astrology, later I'll come and I'll compare this with Vedic astrology. Friends, many people here understands Vedic astrology. A very few people know about Nadi astrology or Nadi astrology. Okay, so if you know both the techniques, you can match it very well and you can predict. Okay, that's why I always say that you need to learn more than one technique to predict something, some timing of events very accurately. So if you want to be accurate, you have to reach that level and you have to study many techniques. Now see, first of all, I'm discussing this horoscope in Nadi technique. Okay, so in Nadi astrology, you all know that we take Jupiter as the Atmakarak planet in Nadi, right? So we'll see where is Jupiter seated in his horoscope. So friends, I have noted down two planets here. You can see Saturn, one is Jupiter. Okay. Now friends, remember one thing. First, predicting a horoscope, there's many reason I'm saying this. There are many things you can know about a horoscope, or you can understand things just in a single look at the horoscope. A simple look, okay, you do not need to analyze very deeply. Just look at his horoscope. What can you see? First, you see this 12th house. Like, it's not 12th, it's the second house from Jupiter, so it's number 12. Okay, so you can see this house. So you always, whenever we see Mr. Einstein's horoscope, we see this house because there are many planets sitting in this particular house, right? So it's a many planet conjunction. So let's analyze this. What are these planets? So I'm writing it here. One, Venus. Second, Sun. Third, Mercury. And next is Saturn. Okay. So just look at this four planet combination here in this particular house. Now, which house is this? If we take Nadi astrology into consideration, this is the second house from Jupiter. What is second house? Second house is the Lavasthan, or the house of profit. So if many planets, if four planets are there in this particular house, which is the Lavasthan or the house of profit, then that actually means that these four planets, these four planets will help Mr. Einstein, okay, in some other way. Now, the activities or the characteristics of these planets. Sun, what Sun does? Sun denotes government, okay. First, Venus. Venus denotes whether someone is would be a very famous person or not, whether someone will be earning too much or like his income or his profession, or how can that person will earn money, okay, in his life, in his or her life, will determine this by Venus, okay. So Venus plus Sun. Now next is Mercury. Mercury is the planet which denotes education, okay, education, intellect of a person, okay. Mercury generally denotes intellect, okay, in this case also. Next planet, which is Saturn. Saturn, what does Saturn denote? Friends, I always say that Saturn is a karmic planet. It always denotes the activity of a person. If you want to understand a person's profession, you need to determine first where where the Saturn is sitting in his horoscope. According to that, you can calculate and predict that this person is going to do that kind of job. Saturn is all about karma. Saturn is the decider of your work, your profession. Okay, so don't be afraid of Saturn all the time. Okay, so Saturn is actually responsible for giving you the job. Okay, now Saturn is here. Now, what can you understand of this connection? Venus plus Sun plus Mercury. We all know that Venus, Sun, and Mercury sits generally together, or just one house here and there, because these three planets actually pretty close to each other. Venus, Sun, and Mercury. So with that, we have Saturn. Now he became famous. Number one, why? Coming to that point later on. He became famous. Okay, Sun, government. He got recognition from government as well. Okay, we all know, right? Next, so friends, Mercury. Okay, Mercury denotes intellect of a person. Okay, so of course he is intellectual. He was rather, sorry. Next is Saturn. Saturn is karma. Okay, now why Nadi astrology is more perfect, I can say, more better than the Vedic astrology calculations. Why? Because if you understand Vedic astrology, you must have heard that Sun and Saturn are enemies. I also agree with that. But in Nadi astrology, they are not only enemies. Actually, Sun denotes government and Saturn is the karma. So it denotes basically if Sun sits in the place of Sun in Jupiter's house. Okay, 12. This is 12 means this is Pisces. So Sun is actually sitting here at the house of in the house of Jupiter. So it denotes a recognition from government somehow. Okay, why? Because Venus is also there. Now, my one video is pending, that is the Ucha Graha and Neech Graha, like exaltation and debilitation of planet, the position of planets. So I'll share this video very soon. Here, Venus is exalted in Jupiter's house. So it is exalted Venus. So it became very powerful. Okay, first. So he became very famous. Now, Sun in the house of his friend. Jupiter. Sun is also very powerful. Now, Mercury. Mercury in the house of Jupiter. Now, Mercury also have some, Mercury is intellect. I have already explained it. Now, Jupiter is Guru. Okay. The intellect in Guru's house is it generally uh, make that particular person a guru or teacher. Okay. So you all know what Albert Einstein did for all of us. Next is Saturn. Saturn I already explained that it's a karmic planet. So it indicates profession in that particular field. So Saturn sits in Guru's house or Jupiter's house. It made you doing these kind of things, like it made you famous and it did research. Okay. So it's a connection of researcher. Okay, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Saturn sitting together, particularly in the house of Jupiter, who is a guru. It's the connection of a very good researcher. Okay, number one point. Second point, what I have written here. See this magic. Okay, it's a parivartan yoga or exchange. You know that thing, right? Exchange of planets. So I'll make you understand here also. This is the house of Jupiter. What I've explained to you. It's 12. That means it's Pisces. These four planets are sitting in Jupiter's house. Now, where is Jupiter sitting? Here. Whose house is that? 11. It's Aquarius. It's the house of Saturn. So now, understand this very well. Saturn is sitting in the house of Jupiter. Jupiter is sitting in the house of Saturn. That means what? It does mean that there is an exchange of Saturn and Jupiter. Saturn is sitting the house of Jupiter. Jupiter is sitting the house of Saturn. So they will exchange amongst themselves. So it's a very powerful Parivartan Yoga or exchange of planets. Now Jupiter is Guru or the teacher, ultimate teacher. Saturn is Karma. It actually made him this particular person. Whenever you see these kind of connections or this exchange only, you forget about these connections. It's a brilliant connection to have. You just forget it. You just see this exchange. If you see this exchange between Saturn and Jupiter, you can clearly say to that particular person, boss, you are going to be a teacher. By any, this is not a magic. This is just logic. Okay. Saturn is the karma, Jupiter is the guru or teacher. If there is an exchange between Saturn and Jupiter, it actually denotes that this particular person would be a very good teacher. His profession will be in teaching. Now he is a researcher also. He is a teacher also. He was a teacher for all of us till now. Okay. E is equal to MC square. Anyways, so we still follow his books. It's the ultimate teacher. Now, just see this house. Okay, these two connections are major connection in his horoscope. Now, I'm coming to trine. In Naadi astrology, we see the connections in trine houses. Okay, there is a fun part coming soon. Just stay tuned. Let me finish this first. Now, see, in this particular house, there is an exchange. Now after observing this exchange, I can say that Jupiter is here also. Jupiter is giving some effects here also. Here also. Why? Because Jupiter has exchanged the place with Saturn. But in natal chart, Jupiter is here. So the Jupiter's effect will be in this house and this house also. And same thing applies to Saturn. Saturn also in this house and this house also. You can consider Saturn in both the houses like Jupiter. So it became very strong horoscope. This is a very strong horoscope. Okay. Now you see that trine. I'm coming to trine. So what are trine houses here? If it is one, if I take it one, okay, I'm just judging this particular house. I'm forgetting all this. If I see this particular house, because the focus is here, 5 planets, 6 planets, actually 6 planets effect is coming in that particular house, in the house of Jupiter, 12th. Okay, so I am observing this one, only this house. So let's see the trine of this particular house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the trine. Okay, so another trine house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is one trine. So this. These are trines. 4, 8, 12. 4, 8, 12. So in Nadi, I always said earlier that the connections we see, the yoga we see, is of is from the trine. Okay, so these are the trine houses. Now this house became more powerful. First of all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 planets effect is there in this particular house of Guru. Now in trine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Ketu's effects is also there. Ketu is giving its effect to here. Now remember one thing, Ketu have, if you have watched my video of different aspects of planet, you can also see that Ketu has effect on this house because Ketu has his ninth drishti or ninth aspect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ketu also watching this house, also sitting in trine with this house. So Ketu has effect on this house also. Okay. Remember one thing. I'll come to this later. Let's see the trine connection first. Moon. Here moon is also giving the effect because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moon is also the trine house. So in this particular house, there are effects of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planets. Actually, 7 planets conjunction in this house. I can here plus Ketu and I can do this plus Ketu and plus Moon. Whenever you see six planets is sitting together or giving their uh, any aspect or in sitting in trine houses in a for a particular house, that means this house is activated till birth. Okay, so it's the very powerful house it became. Only two negative planet is there for this horoscope, that is Rahu and Mars. Okay, friends, you need to know one thing. You observe any particular horoscope, okay, remember one thing, all 9 planets cannot be do good only for that particular person. There must be 1 or 2 planets which take you backward, which will try to give problems in your life. That is Rahu and Mars in this case. Anyways, forget about this. Now you have understood the why Albert Einstein became Albert Einstein. Now the funny thing, the funny part. We all know, if you have researched or if you have searched in Google, you must have read it. Mr. Albert Einstein has actually a break in education. He failed, I think it's in class 9 or 8. I think it's in ninth grade. He failed in class 9. So, Mr. Albert Einstein also had a break in education. Okay, but nobody could stop him to become the Dr. Albert Einstein. Okay, one failure doesn't stop you. So, why he failed? I'll create a separate video on this, but still, when if I am analyzing this horoscope, why he failed? He's such a genius. He was such a genius. Okay, he shouldn't have failed, right? But let's see why. Whenever you see from Jupiter in any of the trine houses, Ketu is there. It denotes a break in education. Now you can say that if I see Jupiter is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why Ketu is in sixth house, not in fifth? But that is what your intuition comes in the picture and your calculation parts also. I already explained the exchange, right? Saturn and Jupiter, between Saturn and Jupiter. So I already explained you that you can consider Jupiter here also, here also. Effect will be same. If I consider Jupiter here after the exchange, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the trine house I explained already. Now in Jupiter's trine, Ketu is there. If Ketu is in this particular trine house also, the result would have been same. It means a break in the education because Ketu generally, whenever it sits in the trine with Jupiter, gives a break in the education. You match it with any horoscope. Okay, people who have failed, but they later become very successful. That's a different story. That's the story of this house and these planets. Okay, nobody could stop him. But Albert Einstein also failed because of this connection of Ketu and Jupiter in trine. So, friends, you do your own research, you take this horoscope, you take your learning. I'm just sharing my knowledge with you. Okay. If you like my videos, please like it and do subscribe to my channel. And let's meet you with all, in the next video. I'll share a few more things in the next videos regarding this connection of Jupiter and Ketu, and also I'll come with another interesting thing regarding jobs and marriage, and then of course the childbirth. Okay, so stay tuned in my channel. Do not forget to subscribe and you do your own research with this horoscope. Okay, till then, goodbye, see you in next video. Bye.